What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, Bigfoot Motorcycle Adventures, where I'm kicking off a multi-part series talking about an epic 8,400-mile, 23-day motorcycle camping trip that I took across our beautiful country. And I just want to spend just a second telling you about the format for these videos. I'm just going to spend a little bit of time talking about what you're going to see in the video, the types of motorcycle camping gear that I use, and the recommendations. And then I'll share a lot of clips and pictures from the video with maybe a little bit of audio on top of that. So without further ado, part 2 is really the first day of riding. I rode through up from Dayton, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Dayton, Ohio, up through Indiana and into the lower peninsula of Michigan. I ended up riding 330 miles on my first day, which I think is a really good number to not wear yourself out. Make sure you're getting to your campsite before it gets dark and get set up and everything, so you're not too tired and you can actually enjoy the location that you pick. So 330 miles the first day, and I ended up staying at the Twinwood Lake Campground in the lower peninsula of Michigan. I stopped in Sturgis, Michigan. There's actually a Sturgis, Michigan. I stopped at the Harley-Davidson there. There's Hamilton Harley-Davidson there. And okay, so the gear that you're going to be seeing in this video is we're going to be talking a little bit about the Red Bear's Atacama Expedition motorcycle tent, and we're also going to be talking about the jet boiled stove that I used and the Kuryakyn bags, which were really incredible because they come with rain covers to put on them that are specifically designed for those bags. So we're going to talk about all of that gear, and like always, I'm going to put links to everything that I mentioned, links to the campground. One huge tip before we get into the actual clips from this particular day of the journey. I was planning this adventure for a couple of months, and as I talked to folks out there, they'd be like, hey, when you ride through this state, check out this campground, or you have to ride down this particular road. And so not only was I getting that kind of feedback from everyone that I talked to before my trip, but I was getting on YouTube every night, and I was getting on the internet and doing some research. Every time I found a location that was of interest to me, I went into Google Maps, and some of you might know that you can do this. You actually can save a place, like under places you want to go or go to or visit or whatever, and it puts a little green flag on the map. So I literally did this trip gas station to gas station. I would just bring up my Google Maps and I would see where all those green flags were, and I would look at the weather and just think about how I felt, how much further I wanted to ride that day, and I would just look at those green flags on the map, and I would pick where my next destination was going to be to. Now, the Twinwood Lake Campground is a U.S. forest campground, and it's primarily used by fishermen. It wasn't the cleanest campground around, but it was really a beautiful place. There weren't a whole lot of people there. It doesn't get a lot of traffic, but it did actually rain on me pretty good that night, so I was extremely excited to have that Red Bear's Atacama Expedition tent where I could pull in the bike and keep all of my gear dry. So that's really what's going on in this video. So without further ado, we'll get right into it.
Just saying hey from just south of Fort Wayne, Indiana, where I'm about to get nailed by some weather. So that's fun. But hopefully got the gear for it, and just had to spend about half an hour putting all the waterproof covers on everything, and hopefully everything will stay dry, and hopefully can find a dry campsite tonight. But anyway, so this is Indiana, pretty cool. Next stop will be up in Michigan, maybe around Grand Rapids. Gonna try to hit the Harley dealer there. So peace. All right, I'm made it to the end of my first day, and I got the last campsite here at the Twinwood Lake Campground. pretty easy to get my fire started, and I got my tent up right away. It was a good day, pretty much riding through Indiana and Northern Ohio and Indiana, and then into Michigan. I actually went to the Harley dealer in Sturgis, not Sturgis, South Dakota, Sturgis, Michigan. And it's amazing how many nice people that are up here and come up and talk to you when you're on a little trip like this. So that was kind of cool. So you can see there's some other people here, so it's not completely peace and quiet, but it's not a bad little site. I'm at mile 330 or so. There's the lake back there. So I think 300-ish miles was the right amount of mileage for this trip. So anyway, I'm gonna do some dinner and hang out here and get set up a little bit more, and we'll be talking at you again soon. So this is my jet boil stove, my main form of cooking while I'm out here. I'm heating up the water right now for some beef stroganoff with noodles. I've had these things before and they're absolutely amazing. I got a couple old army style canteens with water. That's all I need to have some hot tea tonight, some coffee in the morning. And got the fire going all right, and managed to get the bike in the tent. So not bad on the first night out. I'm gonna have some hot tea, and I didn't go for a run like I wanted to. Oh well. This thing boils 2 cups of water in about 90 seconds. You can maybe see steam coming out already. So that's probably the last video for today. Tomorrow morning I'm going to wake up and head up to the upper peninsula of Michigan, which is supposed to be really beautiful up there. It's going to be quite a bit colder. It's already 30 degrees colder than it was when I left Dayton, Ohio. It was 75 degrees this morning, and it's probably in the upper 40s, low 50s right now. So anyway, I'll holler at you tomorrow from the road.
Hey, so just woke up here getting ready to start day 2. It rained pretty good last night, so made me really appreciate having this tent. And there's just something about being able to sleep in a tent with your bike, and all my gear was in here, and everything's completely dry. It is about 42 degrees. It's pretty foggy out on the lake. I'll show you that in a minute. But today's going to be probably a little bit more scenic day. We're gonna roll up through National Forest all the way up to the Straits, big bridge that goes over into the upper peninsula of Michigan. It's gonna be a little colder, but I got the gear for it and ready to go try it out. And yeah, I gotta have some coffee before I do these videos in the future. Anyway, peace.
I just wanted to show you where I had my oatmeal and coffee this morning. I don't think I mentioned it before. This is the Twinwood Lake Campground. There's about 5 campsites here. I got the last one last night when I rolled in. But yeah, I just had my coffee and oatmeal out here. This is Twinwood Lake. I'm in the kind of on the west side of the lower peninsula of Michigan in the Huron-Manistee National Forest. Had a little bit of a storm roll through last night, like I think I mentioned before, and did all right. So just kind of having my breakfast and getting ready to pack everything up, and really kind of get out there, going up into the upper peninsula of Michigan today, where it's going to be a lot more scenic, but a little bit colder. So I'm gonna run chaps today. I got an Under Armour base layer on. I'm probably gonna put my heated gear on. Yeah, so it should be an exciting day. There's a really big Harley Davidson dealership up on the upper peninsula I'm gonna check out today. So